So today was roster cut down day. Everybody should be locked in. I know over the next couple of weeks there's going to be some more moves. People making moves, getting prepared for the start of the season. Um, a couple cuts. I mean, it was a lot of cuts, a lot of guys that I really didn't know getting cut. I mean, only some notable names, and this is because it was NFC East kind of thing. The Giants released Tommy DeVito, the quarterback. They released him. He was a fan favorite, man. And up there, yeah, he was a fan favorite, and they let him go. But when you bring in Russ and you bring in, you got Jameis there, and you got the Jackson Dart. It was going to be tough for him to make the team. So you bring those guys in. So he got cut. And then I know, the Packers cut McCole Hardman. I know he was, formerly on the Kansas City Chiefs. And so, he was with the Packers and he didn't make it. So another thing, Lee, I definitely want, we didn't talk about this in the pre-show, but I wanted to put this down here real quick. I want to jump into this real quick. So we know Kenny Pickett, right? Kenny Pickett. I think you called it on the last podcast with the Browns. Kenny Pickett was going to be traded, right? Full QB room. And so he was traded. But guess who got another job?
Who?
Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is back in the league, man.
That's your boy. Vikings, right? You went to the Vikings?
He went to the Vikings, because the Eagles picked up Sam Howell, right? So how is Carson Wentz back in the league? This is what I don't understand. I mean, this dude, he's on his sixth team. He's back in the NFL. And that's crazy, man, because I mean, don't get me wrong. The guy, I think, well, I know he had talent, and to be in the NFL, you got to be talented, right? So he's a talented guy, but is something off with Carson? And I guess who's the head coach in
O'Donnell.
O'Donnell. I guess O'Donnell is saying I could work with this guy. He's a QB kind of guy, right? He works with QBs, and I guess he say he could work with Carson Wentz. I am not. I mean, there was so many other people that was gonna be. I mean, I'm Tommy DeVito. Pick somebody that I think. I mean, wow. That really blew me away when I saw that, because I was like, how is this dude just still sticking around in the league? On his sixth team since he was with the Eagles, man. He didn't show anything the previous year when he was with Kansas City, and he played in the last game of the season with nothing but backups, and he didn't score a point whatsoever. I mean, goose egg. And you bring this guy back. I don't know.
I think there's a little bit of personal bias with you in a negative way when it comes to Carson Wentz. I don't know what Carson Wentz did to you as an Eagle fan. I don't know what he did to the Eagle fans. I really don't. I know he had that one season where he looked like he was in the trajectory going to winning the MVP.
Yeah.
And then he got hurt. And then, of course, the rest is history. Y'all went on and won the Super Bowl without him. But his career has never been the same since then. I heard that there's a little bit of a personality quirk that he has that kind of rubs people the wrong way in the locker room. That could easily be one of the reasons why he's kind of bouncing around from organization to organization.
Yeah.
But I don't see why he shouldn't have a job. I mean, he's a competent backup quarterback at the very least. He was with us. He was with the Rams, I believe.
He was with you too?
Yeah, he was with us a couple of years ago. I think about 2 years ago. He started one game for us. It was at the end of the season. It was the last game of the season.
Yeah.
Against the Niners. It was like the game of the backups. We both clinched the playoff.
Right.
So we played our backups, and he won that game.
Okay.
So I mean, he's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
He's a good quarterback. So yeah, I think when you got the O'Donnells and McVay, like all of them come from that same kind of quarterback tree. I could see Vikings picking him up and him being a really good, just, he's good up in the quarterback room.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So okay, so you called it last time. Kenny Pickett gets traded, right? To the Raiders. Is he in I guess he's in running for the backup? Who's the QB in Oakland?
Oh, that's Geno Smith's job. He's not
Oh, that's
taking.
Geno. Yes, that is Geno. Yeah, that's Geno. Yep,
He's
yep, yep,
he's
yep.
not taking that from Geno. Kenny Kenny Pickett, you talk about self-sabotaging yourself, right? He was with Pittsburgh. I didn't think that was a good fit for him to begin with. Even though he went to, I think, University of Pittsburgh,
Right.
which is the reason why the Steelers, he was kind of like the hometown guy. They saw more tape on him than anyone else, which would make me believe you would have
Should have
seen the
seen some.
flaws, right? You should have
Yeah,
seen the flaws.
yeah.
But you got to go through the story of how he got to where he is now, right? He was starting a couple of years with the Steelers. He didn't really do a lot. He was still, I think, maturing as a quarterback. He was young, and the Steelers went and they got Russell Wilson, and he decided he didn't want to be there anymore. Okay, he decided this was before they got Fields. They
Yeah.
got Russell Wilson, and then he was like, you know what? I want to be traded. Like he felt as if he was blindsided, as if he was owed some sort of explanation for the move, which your play the previous couple of seasons should have been explanation enough as to why they went and got Russ, right, to compete with you. And so he decided he wanted to go. When he left, then the Steelers went ahead and they picked up Justin Fields as the number 2. But think about it. Had he not left and had he decided, you know what, I'm going to show them, I'm going to prove them wrong, I'm just going to work my butt off, I'm going to go ahead and double down and prove to them that I deserve to be the starter here in Pittsburgh. What happened to Russell Wilson that offseason?
That's true. Yeah.
He got hurt, which forced Justin Fields to play the first couple of games of the season. Had Kenny Pickett not leave, that would have been him.
Have been him.
And if he truly believed in himself and felt that he should have not been challenged and that he deserved to be the starter, then he would have played accordingly and probably wouldn't have relinquished the starting position.
Right.
After
Yeah.
that, I don't think that would have happened. I think he still would have went out there and stunk up the joint, which is why Pittsburgh went ahead and got Russell Wilson in the first place. But
Right. Yeah.
it's that mentality that he had. So then he goes from there, and then they shipped him to the Eagles, where of course he wasn't going to start over Hurts, right? That wasn't going to happen. And then from there he goes to the Browns, and the Browns are like, we rather these 2 rookies over you,
Yeah. That's crazy.
right? So now you
Yeah.
go to the Raiders. So this is his story. He's going to end up being a Carson Wentz.
Yeah. 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 He on that trajectory. That's interesting how this happens with some guys. But you're right. You made this decision. You made this bad. So now you got to lie in it, man. I mean, yeah, and you're right. That's another thing. People nowadays, some people, not all. You got some guys who they are going to stick in there and compete and be like, okay, I got a chip on my shoulder. Y'all bringing in somebody else? Okay, let's do this. Let me show y'all what time it is. And then you got some guys who, they just don't have what it takes to fight for it. I mean, you never know. This is the NFL. Like you say, man, anything could happen. I mean, injuries happen every game they play. There's risk of injury for every player. And so it's such a volatile game. That's why that backup position is critical, QB or any of the positions really, because you got to be ready to go. And for him not to want to fight for that just tells me, and this is just my opinion, that just tells me, you're a little weak. You're a little weak. You don't want to fight for it. And that's, I mean, that's how I see it.
It shows, and again, not trying to be disparaging here, right? But it shows like your mentality. And for someone for that position where you need to be probably the most strong-minded person on the team in order to hold that position down, you need someone who's going to fight for it. You're going to need someone who's going to be a little bit thick-skinned.
Mm-hmm.
Understand that you're gonna always be challenged, not just by the opponent, but
Right.
within the organization as well.
Yeah.
No one owes you the fuzzy feel, the warm and fuzzies. Like
Right.
you're
Right.
not owed that in the
Yeah.
NFL. The problem, I think, Lynx, is we're going to see a little bit more of that going forward because of the way the new world of of college football. You
Yeah.
got this whole transfer portal thing going
Yep.
on,
Yep.
and now I'm already seeing it, and it's going to cross over where you got these quarterbacks. They're starting at the college. The college decides, hey, we're going to pick up this new hot freshman to come in and compete against you, which that's going to happen every year.
That's how it is.
But if that quarterback feels as if he's not going to get the opportunity, he's going to transfer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they're going to keep bouncing around until they feel like they get what they deserve. And then that's going to cross over into the NFL. It's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out within the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I admire someone like a Cam Ward, where he fought tooth and nail for everything that he got. Tyson Badgett, he's the same type of guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not as critically acclaimed as Cam Ward,
Right.
but his path was very similar in terms of he fought for what he got.
Right. Right.
Right. And I think you're going to see quarterbacks going forward where they have that type of background where they weren't the 5-star coming out of high school. Everything wasn't given to them. They didn't have the opportunity to just bounce around just because they were a big name, but rather they either started from a small school and built their way up, or they were at a school and they were overlooked and then they worked their way up. Those are the quarterbacks I think are going to have more sustainable success in the NFL
Mm-hmm.
in the years to come.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, all this entitlement,
Yeah.
it's not going to bode well.
No, not at all. Yeah, you're right. The guys that are more battle tested, man, they definitely rise to the top. That's just how it is in every factor of life. So, yeah. But speaking of quarterbacks and staying on this, the Saints, I know they had a little battle there with Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shough, and I know you wanted to talk about this. You know, I saw Spencer Rattler when he was in high school, and I watched. It was this show that was coming on ESPN, and that was talking about high school quarterbacks. Justin Fields was on it, you know, and it was, you know, some other quarterbacks that was on it. I think Jake Fromm was on it back in the day. But anyway, he was on it, and what I remember from him was he was a cocky little dude. He wasn't tall. But he was a cocky little dude, man. But he had a nice arm, and you know he could get the ball out, and he was doing what he's doing. So you know, I know he was at South Carolina, and now did he move from South Carolina, or was he always at South Carolina?
So very similar to what we just discussed, right?
Yeah.
He was at Oklahoma,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Now, check this out. He was at Oklahoma. He was the starter. Like, again, he was highly touted out of high school, 5-star.
Right.
And then he got supplanted by Caleb Williams in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
After that, he decided, I'm out,
I'm out.
right? But the head coach at that time, Lincoln Riley, got a head coaching job at USC, and he brought Caleb Williams with him. Had Spencer Rattler just toughed that out, he could have just stayed right there at Oklahoma.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But he decided to bolt. He goes to South Carolina, had a bit of a, you know, he kind of had a rejuvenation there.
Yeah.
And he made some noise, of course, enough to get drafted.
Yeah.
Everything the way you described him, he's still not tall. I mean, he's still short.
Right. Yeah.
But he still has a very powerful arm. He has a big arm. He has what they call moxie, right? There's just something about him where he on the field, he can gut out the play, right? Like he can make things happen, not through like supreme athleticism, but just through, you know, he wills it as best as he can.
Yeah.
But there's a ceiling. The ceiling isn't that high.
Yeah.
Right. So the way I see it with them, they tapped him as the starter. Tyler Shuck was the guy he was competing against. Their, you know, I think, was he a 2nd-round pick? Yeah, 2nd-round pick from last year, right? From this year. They're the same quarterback. That's the thing. Like they're the exact same quarterback. If you look at their stats for this preseason, right? I think Spencer Rattler was 24 of 28 for, you know, he threw 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Shuck was 23 of 28, 3 touchdowns and 1 interception.
Yeah, that's
And their style of play, again, very similar. They're mobile enough. They can break contain if if the defense gives them an opportunity, they can run for a couple of yards.
right.
They are moderately, not moderately, but they're accurate enough. Both have powerful arms. They can throw the deep ball, but there's nothing super elite about them.
Right.
And I don't see, I'll put it like this. I don't think that Saint fans are thrilled with the quarterback options right now. I think they're really looking towards next year.
Next year. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you that. I was gonna ask you, based on with these two guys and what you're saying that of their similarities, like, are they even gonna, with these boatload of quarterbacks that's coming out next year, they probably going to be looking in another direction. But then I also blame Kellen Moore because, if you looking at GM Kellen Moore, they had to talk. I mean, I know but they had to talk before the draft. And I mean, you draft Tyler Shuck, but he's the same guy as Spencer Rattler. I mean,
They had to get someone.
yeah,
And remember what I told you with this draft, there was no outside of
really, yeah, yeah,
Cam Ward.
yeah,
The only other quarterback I would have drafted in that first round would have been Jackson Dart.
yeah.
But
Okay,
Jackson Dart is a project. You need someone like a Dable to really rein him in
yeah,
and coach him up.
yeah.
His arm is elite. Like he has a really good arm talent. But like really outside of those two, there was nobody else there.
That's
Now
interesting.
everybody was saying that the Saints should have drafted
Door,
Shador
yeah,
Sanders, and
yeah,
I think he was in the running for that team. But extracurricular stuff I think got in the way.
yeah, yeah,
But even with Shador, I don't think Shador could turn it around for the
yeah,
Saints.
yeah, yeah,
So next year's the year.
yeah,
Next
yeah.
year's the year. You got 6 quarterbacks minimum going to be drafted in the first round next year.
Wow,
Yeah,
man, that's big.
they're good. They're
Yeah,
good.
yeah, that's big. So sticking on this on the QB battles, um, and you mentioned the aforementioned Shador, uh, Dylan Gabriel wins the QB2 spot there. Um, obviously he looked in the first game. He looked against the Eagles. He played good. Played good. Look, I mean, I was watching it. He looked like he was moving the ball. Boom, boom, boom. Short passes. Da da da. Mixing it up. Getting it looking pretty good. Shador looked good in his first game. Again, we mentioned this before, playing against the Carolina defense. And then in the next game, the final preseason game, Dylan Gabriel looks good, moving the ball. Boom, boom, boom. Shador does not look that good. We already know, no excuses, right? No excuses. Because from what I heard, Huntley came in and scored a touchdown, right? With that same group. Now, was the play calling the same? Or, I
Play
mean,
calling. Play calling is
So
the same.
Huntley was just more experienced. So my question to you is, with Dylan Gabriel winning this out, winning this, do you think, and Shador's number 3, QB3, is it done at this point? Like, okay, Dylan Gabriel is locked in at number 2 and Shador is number 3, and he can't really surpass him at this point.
No, barring an injury. Barring an injury and or if Dylan when if Dylan if Gabriel gets an opportunity and he stinks it up, then of course you got to bring Shador in. But as it's set right now, going into the first week of the season, Dylan Gabriel he is locked in as the second string quarterback. Shador's number 3, and then of course, like I said, they shipped out Kenny Pickett,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yeah.
they should have. I mean, Kenny Pickett didn't even
Yeah.
practice or play. He was hurt, no fault of his, but still, his tape historically he hasn't shown anything to make them want to keep him with his non-activity during the off season. So
Yeah. Yeah. So he definitely didn't have anything there. Didn't show anything. So that's not shocking or surprising at all.
But let's talk about Dylan Gabriel a little bit, right? Because I
Yeah.
know a lot of people they're like, why, right?
Yeah.
Because Shador did have that really good game against the Panthers,
Yeah. Yeah.
and when you go back, I went back, I watched it, and then I watched what he did with the Rams, and it was the same type of play.
Mm-hmm.
But you have, again, there's a difference in coaching styles between those two teams. Rams, I would think, not just because I'm a Ram fan, but we can tell over the past couple of seasons, Rams they're the better team. They're the better coaching staff. I mean, that's not debatable. So the problem let's talk with Dylan Gabriel, not the problem. The way Dylan Gabriel plays, he plays, and I talk about this a lot, and I've said it a lot. I know I sound like a broken record, but he plays in structure, within the structure of the offense. Meaning, he has really good pocket presence. When he snaps the ball, he knows how to step up. He knows how to find the avenues to get the ball out, and he doesn't hold on to the ball.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. One stat or fact about Shador is that in as much as he's exciting, he's Dion's son. He brings a lot of eyeballs to the screen when he's involved. He had some really good stats in college, but he also led college football in one other stat that's kind of showing itself now in the preseason, is that he was the most sacked quarterback last year. Okay?
Yeah.
He's not uber elite from a scrambling perspective. He's not fast. He's not super quick. He's crafty.
Yeah.
But in the NFL, crafty is not that's not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. You will have to now, because of those limitations in terms of your athleticism, right, running wise, you're now going to have to ramp up your mental processing speed and learn how to get the ball out quicker. I watched like that play. He got sacked 5 times against the Rams. Lynx, there was one play where he held on the ball for more than 5 seconds.
Yeah, you got to get rid of that.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
No.
And I know, no one's open. Throw the ball away.
That's it.
Throw the ball away.
Yeah.
Don't give up so much ground.
Right.
Live to fight another day.
Mm-hmm.
Because then when you do that, then the commentators and the analysts are going to say, there was no one open.
Right.
You had to get rid of the ball. And that would be a smart play.
Yeah.
But when you're holding on and holding on and holding on, and then you're trying to make something happen, this is the NFL. That's not going to work.
Right.
It may work once or twice, but that's his go-to thing to do. And you just can't keep doing that. So because of that, rightfully so, he's the third string because he needs to learn how to kind of play a little bit faster mentally.
Yeah.
He's very accurate. He has really good arm talent, but he just needs to know how to pick his spots and get the ball out and know where the weaknesses are in the defense. You have 2 types of quarterbacks. Yeah. I know I'm rambling, right? But
no, you good.
You have a quarterback that knows how to create.
Right.
And then you have the quarterback that has that pre-snap cognition.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Your Drew Brees, and your Tom Brady's, they're pre-snap. They know where they're going to go with the ball before the ball gets snapped.
Yeah.
Because they're looking at the defense, they understand where the weaknesses are, and it's like, boom. But if that's not there, then I'm going to go boom. Right? And then if that's not there, I'm throwing that ball away.
Right. Yeah.
That's how he has to play. Because when you got the Patrick Mahomes and the Russell Wilsons back in the day, they were the creators, right? They can snap the ball and then, nothing's open. Let me make something happen.
Yeah.
But they have the athleticism to do it, and then they get the ball out.
Right.
Shador Sanders can't do that. He's not athletic enough to do that.
Yeah.
So he's gonna have to learn how to read defenses a little bit better and get that ball out of luck.
Yeah. And you're right. I think you had mentioned this before. Even when he played you guys, that spin away move that he have, that's not gonna work, buddy.
That's not gonna work.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
And the thing is, like I said, you may get away with it once.
Right.
You won't be doing that the whole game.
Yeah. I saw several times against y'all where he did that.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
And Dylan Gabriel, when we compare in terms of holding on to the ball, he was getting the ball out at 1.9 seconds. The other one was 2.3 seconds. Like, he let nothing rip.
Right.
Getting rid of it.
Yeah.
That's what the Browns are seeing. And they're like, that's how we want the offense to run.
Yeah. So there's no bias. There's no holding back. There's no hate on Shador. The tape speaks for itself. It's there. I did see when I went back and looked at it too. I did see him doing that spin move, and I mean, first time you ever played first time Panthers saw it, you was able to get away. But I promise you, if you play the Panthers again,
But Lynx, and you talked about this, right? When he did that against the Panthers and he was spinning
right?
and
Yeah,
making the plays and getting away with it, that same game he's on the sideline, and who was he talking to?
yeah. He was
Myles
talking. He
Garrett.
was talking to
And he
Garrett.
asked Myles Garrett,
Yep.
would that work on you?
Right.
Like, I was like,
No.
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 It's like,
Yeah.
no,
That's not gonna work.
no, that's
Right.
not going to work.
Right.
Right? So it's not as if he don't know.
Right.
He got one of the best defenders in the entire league telling him
Yeah.
that stuff isn't going to work.
Yeah. Go work on that. Work on that. Work on something else. Like you said, start reading defenses. And because everybody's already caught on to that. And within the preseason. So yeah, that's crazy, man. It's crazy. So all right. We got some contract disputes and contracts that has been resolved or being resolved. Trey Hendrickson with the Cincinnati Bengals. So you said it looks like they shoring it up. He's coming back and he's getting what he is asking.
Well, not necessarily getting what he's asking, right? He
Okay.
wanted more of a long-term thing for, I think, about 3 years, guaranteed. What they did, I think they just came to a compromise on both sides. They have revised the contract, his current, because he had one more year
Okay.
for, I think, maybe 14, 18 million, something along those lines. And so they revised it, this contract, finishing out the year, 30 million.
Okay.
Guaranteed. So he's going to get his 30 million and then he's going to be a free agent at the end of the season.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, go 1 year. And really I'm telling you this, he's 30 years old. Right? And nobody as good as he was and is, I know he's still got to get back in shape. Nobody's trading for a 30-year-old defensive tackle, defensive end. I mean, look at it. I mean, I think this might be the smartest thing that Cincinnati has ever done. This might be the smartest thing that they've ever done. Because to give you your money 1 year, let's get what we could get out of him in this 1 year, because next year, now he's 31. All right? Where you going, bro? I mean, somebody's going to pick him up. But I mean, you 31 years old. I mean, that's because Myles Garrett is 28, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So, and you 30 years old. So yeah, I commend. I don't believe I'm saying this, but I do commend the Cincinnati Bengals. That's a good move, man. Good move.
Now, what's going to be interesting is if he has another awesome season. Let's say he leads the league in sack.
Yeah. If he does, still that age creeps up on you so fast, man.
It does.
It creeps up on you.
Another one. He'd probably be on 1 year.
Yeah.
Contracts going forward if he wants top dollar.
That's right. If another team pick him up, man, that's gonna be tough to see. It's a tough position for him to be in, but I would take that 30 million and make that work for you and your family and do what you got to do. He's gonna get another contract after this. Somebody's gonna pick him up, but Godspeed. I wouldn't want to pick him up. And if I got some young players, I'm not trading any of my young players for him. Because you're already 30 years old, gonna be going into 31. Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah. So okay, Micah Parsons. All right, this is still going on, man. This is still going on. So okay, so Stephen A. Smith interviewed Jerry Jones, and so Jerry's talking about this contract situation that from when I was watching it, he said that Micah actually would have been the highest paid defensive end in the league if he had signed the contract when Jerry offered it to him. And so Micah didn't sign the contract. His agent say, go shove it up your whatever, right? And now here we go. Contract dispute. And it's a holdout. But is this Micah Parsons' fault? Because you said Micah approached Jerry, right? Break this down.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Jerry had the interview with Stephen A. Smith,
Right.
and from Jerry's own words,
Yeah.
he said Micah approached him
Yeah.
and said, "I want to discuss the contract."
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so he said he had a conversation with Micah. They talked about length.
Mm-hmm.
They talked about the dollar amount,
Right.
and he said that was it.
Yeah.
Stephen A. pressed him, "Did you go into the details?" He's like, "No, we didn't go into the details." He's like, "Look, I've done many contracts this way.
Right.
It's like that table napkin. Write it on a piece of napkin, and hey, these are the high points of the
Right. Right.
contract." And then he says, "We figure out the details later."
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. He said that's what he did,
Mm-hmm.
and for all intents, he said he was under the assumption or presumption that they had an agreement, they had a
Right.
deal.
Yeah.
Then comes Micah's agent, which rightfully so. Micah's agent was like, "Okay, what is this? What's going on? Like, what are the particulars?" But I think the way Jerry described it is that the agent came in and became indignant with him. Again, this is how Jerry's kind of setting the stage here.
Yeah.
And he was told, "Don't talk to Micah again." And so now Jerry is from the good old days,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. I got you.
In
Yeah.
the good old days, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I got you. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
weren't good old days for you and me,
No.
right?
Yeah.
He's from good old, right? But he's from that era, right?
Right. Right. Right.
And you have Micah Parsons, and you have his agent. And if anyone knows, look up his agent. Look who just look at who he is.
Yeah. Let me see.
And Jerry doesn't take kindly from being disrespected, especially from certain types of people,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so I think what ended up happening was Jerry felt he felt disrespected, and then after that he's like, "Don't talk to Micah anymore." Okay, he's like, "But I'm not talking to you." And so I think that's when the schism started, and now you have a situation where you have the owner slash GM, who, from his side, there was an agreement that was on the table and was agreed upon between he and the player.
Right.
And then you have this, what he calls now the third party,
Right.
which is the agent, which is the person that you should have been negotiating with in the first place, coming in and disrupting that agreement. And he's like, "I'm not talking to the agent. I'm only going to talk to the player."
Right.
And then you get the agent saying, "Don't talk to the player. You got to talk to me."
Right. Right. Right.
Someone is going to have to blink, right, in order for this to happen. But when you got someone like Jerry who feels like the agent has disrespected him,
Yeah. That's it.
they dig in.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
dig in.
Yeah.
So I don't know how this is going to play out, but I don't think it's going to play out very well for Micah if he and the agent don't give a little bit here, because at the end of the day, he's still under contract.
Yeah. Still under contract.
And you got two years of they can franchise tag him for two
Yeah.
2 years
For 2
after
years.
that.
Yeah.
So they got him for 3 years
Right. Right. Right.
if they want to.
Yeah. Yeah. This boils down to a couple things, and I looked up his agent. So this boils down to a couple. Yeah. This boils down to a couple things.
Mind you,
Yeah.
this is the same agent. He was the agent for Deshaun Watson.
Same agent for Deshaun
He was
Watson.
the one that got Deshaun Watson the fully guaranteed
Wow.
$200+ million for the Browns.
Yeah. Big time. Yeah. You know what he
Same
doing.
guy.
Yeah. You know
Yeah.
what he doing.
You know what he's doing.
Yeah. Micah's gonna have to make a decision here, because unfortunately Jerry isn't budging, right? So he already in the mindset of where he's at. Jerry Jones, that is. So Micah has, it's unfortunate, but he has a decision to make. Either he's going to continue to hold out, and I think fines are going to be levied, continue every game that he missed. Big fines, but not that he can't afford it, but you don't want to lose money anyway. So fines are going to be levied against him, and he could sit out the whole season, or he could find a new agent. And it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. It's unfortunate that that it has to come to this, because I too don't see Jerry Jones backing down on this.
He's stubborn.
He's very stubborn. Yes. So I don't see him backing down on this. And so that means it's going to fall on Micah. And I'm putting myself in Micah's shoes here. Putting myself in Micah's shoes. Micah wants to play, right? Micah wants to play, but he also wants to get paid. But you're under contract. You are obligated. You are under contract. We know, these contract negotiations and stuff happen, years earlier, sometimes restructuring and this and that and that. However, I mean, you're under contract. It's unfortunate that you're in this situation, but I don't see any way around it. Micah is going to be the one that's going to have to make this decision.
Right.
And it would be unfortunate for him to have to fire his agent, because the guy is a great agent.
He is a good one.
He is a great agent to be able to, make those kind of deals. And yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, the problem here too is the fact that Jerry's number one concern is not winning.
That's true. Yeah.
His concern, like winning is not a top priority for him.
Yeah, it's not.
And again, I know Dallas fans don't want to hear that. I know some probably don't even believe it. But if the last 30 years isn't proof and evidence for you,
yeah,
and in his own words, okay, if someone was to put a microphone in your boy face, right, your GM Howie,
yeah,
and ask him, how would you describe the Eagles? What are the adjectives are you going to use to describe the Eagles and the purpose for the Eagles? It's going to be everything's going to be centered around winning a championship.
Winning. Yeah.
We're a championship team. We're about winning championships. Everything we're doing is geared towards winning a Super Bowl.
Yep, absolutely.
When those same questions were posed to Jerry just recently, he said the Dallas Cowboys, they're a 365-day-a-year soap opera. He said nothing about winning a Super Bowl. He said nothing about winning championships, winning divisions, winning conference champions, nothing. He said they are a soap opera.
Yeah.
That's what he's concerned about.
Yeah.
So if this contributes to that, in his eyes, he win it.
He win it. Because they always in the news. The media always going to be talking about him. Micah's still holding out. It's halfway through the season. Yeah. Micah's still holding out. Dallas Cowboys still in the news. Jerry Jones is happy.
Yeah, happy. He's good. At the bare minimum,
yeah,
he's content.
Yeah, absolutely.
He ain't stressing.
No, you're not stressing. Really, the only person that's gonna hurt is Micah.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you're an NFL player and you want to play, man. I want to be on the field. I want to play.
Not only that, Lynx, the shelf life of an NFL player is extremely short. I don't care
how true
you are, particularly on the defensive side.
Yeah.
You can't afford to lose a season.
No. Yeah. Ooh, boy, yeah, this is brewing. This is brewing. It's been brewing. It's going to, I like Micah Parsons. I hope that they could come to some sort of resolution on this quickly. Hey, it's not going to hurt me any. You playing the Eagles in the first game of the season. It's not hurting me any either. However, I'd like to see guys go out and play, man. I like to see you get paid. I like to see you get to go out and play, and it's going to hurt him in the long run, which is unfortunate. But because like we just mentioned, it's not going to hurt Jerry at all. So
right, and you're right. Like it doesn't bother me for for the team that I root for.
Right.
However, as a football fan, this hurts the game of football. Not having Micah Parsons play.
Yeah.
It hurts football.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So many storylines, so many things that could happen, and you just want everybody to be a part of it, be a part of the season, be a part of the game, because it just makes it that much better. Makes the product you put on the field that much better. So we'll see. The saga goes on. The saga continues. Yeah, man. Yep. So next Thursday, actually, is the beginning of the season, man.
Yep.
Beginning of the season, got my Eagles going up against the Cowboys, and I think it's gonna be a good game. NFC East battle, always tough. I'm nervous, man. I'm a little nervous, but just because their offense hasn't been as potent as their offense has been in a while. I don't know how George Pickens is gonna look. There's a lot of questions, and those questions are gonna be answered. I'm okay with our defense. I still think our Adoree Jackson is going to be picking up that CB2 spot, which has me a little concerned. I think we start off slow in this first game, but I think we roll in the end. But I think Adoree Jackson is like a weak spot.
You got
And I think they could exploit Adoree Jackson on that side. That's where my concern is. So we'll see, man.
So talk to me a little bit before we sign up. Talk about that trade though, because so y'all did get Sam Howell,
Yes, we got Sam Howell. Yep,
right?
yep.
And I noticed, and I think both you and I we did expect this. DTR gone.
Gone,
They
gone. Yes,
They,
yes. I knew it. I knew it. I knew he was out of here, man.
DTR gone.
Gone. I
Right.
knew that was a whole. I mean, look, I know they expected him to come in.
And for the podcast, DTR that's Dorian Thompson Robinson.
Dorian
Right?
Thompson Robinson. Yes,
He was a third string.
yes, yes.
Right.
And I knew he was. When I saw that game, man. When I saw that game and he was playing, I was like, "Ain't no way." Not even practice squad, bro. I mean, ain't no way. I mean, I just saw it. Look, I mean, I thought he was going to be better, but again, this is a team that's just coming off of a Super Bowl, and we can't have any weaknesses like that. I mean, we just can't. We can't.
Third string the links.
It don't matter, man. It don't matter. It don't matter. We can't have any weaknesses like that. But guess what? We also cut McCord. McCord got cut too. Kyle McCord got cut. He got cut, and from what I also heard, my boy Tanner McKee has a broken finger, and so with that, they had to bring in someone, which prompted the trade for Sam Howell, and then they cut Kyle McCord. I think Kyle McCord, if he passes through the waiver and nobody claims him, he'll definitely be on the practice squad for sure. I think he'll be the practice squad quarterback. Nobody claims him, which I don't think anybody will. So I think he's gonna stick there, and they're gonna go with the three QBs. Jalen, Tanner McKee, and Sam Howell, and that's how that works. So yeah, man, I know DTR was out there, man. I saw that thing.
Y'all put DTR on the practice squad, man. Let him. He could simulate some like athletic quarterback, like so get you guys prepped for if
We
y'all
gonna
got to
put
play Lamar Jackson or Justin Fields or
we're gonna put a running back there, man. We can't. We're gonna put a running back there. We can't have that, man. I mean that was such a obvious call, man. If you watch that game,
it was bad.
You could just see it was not good. It was not good. But that brings up one last point I wanted to bring up. The backup for Dallas, who's behind Joe Milton, right?
Yeah.
He also didn't look good. All right. Did he ever redeem himself?
A little bit. Not
Okay.
much. Not much. So he's the backup.
Yeah. Okay. So he's the backup. Okay.
He is the backup.
Okay.
The dude, he lacks touch on his throws.
Yeah.
And I think where the athleticism is just so high.
Yeah.
He's just so athletic. It's hard for them to just give up on him.
Right.
So
I got you.
I think they're going to stick with it, and they're going to try to groom him.
Yeah.
For the season.
Yeah.
And then like going into if nothing much has changed, then
yeah,
that's when I'll probably cast him aside. But I hope he pulls through. I hope he's able to kind of fine tune and get that right.
Yeah.
Get that accuracy right, because it's doable.
Yeah.
Very doable.
Yeah.
But he has a lot of athletic potential, man.
Yeah. I root for these guys, man. I root for quarterbacks in general, but I root for African American quarterbacks because, I want these guys to shine. I want them to be good. That's why it was so shocking for me with DTR. But you root for these guys, man. But man, you gotta be better. You gotta be better. It didn't
surprise me. I saw him at when he's with the Bears.
Yeah.
And he had 1 or 2 games where he showed a flash.
Right. Yeah.
But then I think he had to go in and start a couple of games for them.
Yeah.
And he was one-dimensional. He was extremely one-dimensional, and I didn't see progression with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you guys got him,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what kind of miracle you guys are going to try to pull with that one. I would have been impressed, and I
Yeah.
was hoping that it would work out.
Right. Right.
When I saw him play that preseason game, I was like, he looked just exactly the same.
Nothing changed.
Nothing changed.
So,
Yeah.
wonder. Like, I mean, you come through high school, you're a QB, get through college, which is amazing. Get through college as a QB, you make it to the NFL, and then that's it. Like that's it. You can't rise above. You can't rise to that NFL talent level. And I know he practices. I know he in the off season. I mean, I just it's baffling to me. Like how do you not get better? Like I don't know.
You know what it is, Lynx?
Yeah.
It's a level of focus and what your personal goals are. Okay?
Yeah.
Here's what I mean by that. I watched an interview by Jameis Winston, and he was sitting there with Michael Vick. And Jameis Winston, I've grown to really just admire some of the things. I know some people, it may seem a little bit outlandish, the way that he delivers it.
Right.
But he says some really deep and introspective stuff. So during this interview, he said he came to a realization that he just didn't dream big enough, right? And he was talking to Vic. He said, Vic, he said, I watched Peyton Manning, I watched Tom Brady, and I realize I am where I am because I didn't dream big enough. He said, he's like, when you were growing up, what was your focus? What was your dream? He's talking to Vic. And he said, my dream was to make it to the NFL.
Right.
And Vic said, yeah, that was my dream too. And he said, that's where it stopped. I made it to the NFL. He said, I look at Peyton, I look at Brady, and their dream, it wasn't just to make it to the NFL. They dreamt about championships.
Yeah.
They dreamt about being elite. And then they set their goals and their standards to that particular, to that point. He said, we talk about it. Yeah, I want to win. Yeah, I want to win a championship. But he said that wasn't the goal. Well, I didn't make it the goal. The goal was just to make it to the NFL. And once I made it to the NFL, that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Right. And as much as, people may think, okay, yeah, well, I mean, come on, like, that can't be it. Yeah. Right. If you study anything about as it pertains to manifestation, manifesting your life and your goals, and start getting into the whole mentality of visualization and how that impacts the results of what happens in your life, Jameis Winston was spot on. If all they were thinking about was just making it to the league, then they accomplished what they set out to do.
Yeah, they accomplished
it. Which, again, 99% of Americans can't do it what they did.
Do it. Yes.
Especially at the level that they did it. We talk about Vic, and Vic, who was all world, and then Jameis Winston, who was Heisman Trophy winning quarterback in college and first overall pick in the draft.
Yeah.
But if you can't think higher than that, then that's where you get stuck. That's
big.
where you get stuck. Yeah.
That's big, man. That's big. Yeah, that's definitely profound. That's a good statement. That's a good one to That's a good one for kids to hear and to really soak in.
Yeah.
Dream big, man.
Yeah, and everything. Not just
everything.
Football, everything in life. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
You want to be a doctor, want to be a dentist, want to be a business, want to be an entrepreneur. Dream big.
Yeah.
Dream big.
Whatever that highest pinnacle is. Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Love it. So yeah, man. So we heading into the season. I think we'll be back on Thursday, and we'll see what's going on, and then we getting into the season next week, man.
Can't wait.
Yep. All right.
Cool.
All right, man. On the next one.